Hey everybody,
Hey,
how you
what's going
doing? My
on?
We're
beautiful
Yes.
black queens.
yes.
Let's go. How y'all feeling today?
Amazing. Blessed.
Amazing. We are
Black.
just super
Beautiful.
excited to be able to have this conversation with you. I love
I'm
it.
excited
I
to
love the
hear
smile, the hair, the nails. You're it.
Yes.
Yes.
it.
Yeah, so as everybody is coming in, listen, we ain't gonna waste no time. All right, listen, I'm
Yeah.
glad that we have this is our brand new season of Indie Talks. We are getting bigger and better. And let me tell you, tonight's episode, whoo, you in for a treat. We got BK's finest, Flatbush,
Yes.
Queen of Flatbush in the building. All right. So I'm your host, Aisha Lewis Redway, for those who may not know. All
And
right. And I have my beautiful co-host.
Danielle Meeks.
Yes, and we're sitting with the beautiful, most talented. I mean, bar for bar.
Yes.
I mean, just I mean,
Vibes.
every type of vibes for the girls. No other than Rocky Snyda.
thank you.
All right, listen, we got to do our intros around here. We give respect
Yes.
where respect
Yes.
is due.
Yes, thank you guys for having me.
Of
Thank
course,
you
of
for joining.
course. We're super excited. Now, Rocky, of course, just paying homage to you, the music that you have done, for the past few years. Um, being from Brooklyn, talk about just that background, just because we're the heart of a lot of the music artists that come.
Wait, are you from Flatbush too?
We're in
Mhm.
Queens.
Oh, y'all in Queens? I've actually lived in Queens for a little
Really?
bit, so
What
shout out to Queens.
part?
Yeah, Laurelton.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. That's a
Lawton,
neighbor.
okay. Yeah. So I had a little stint in Queens, but Flatbush, when we talk about Flatbush, you know what's so crazy? So my name is Rocky Snyda because um I grew up on Snyder and Tilden, like Snyder Avenue,
Okay.
right by Church Ave, right in the middle of the little Caribbean, a lot of like Caribbean culture. It's one of the last few places I feel like that are getting gentrified. It's like one of the last other than the Bronx, I feel. But yeah, I love being from this area and like crowning myself the Princess of Flatbush because I spent most of my life, well, I spent half of my life here, and I've been in other places like Queens and all the different boroughs, but I felt the most connected here because my parents are Caribbean too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was able to grow up and really get that real Brooklyn vibe. And you can hear it too. I feel like you can hear that all the vibes in my music,
Oh
and
yes, most
especially in 10 out
definitely.
of 10 would recommend in the project. I feel like you can hear all of that in there.
Yes.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
most definitely. And obviously, with that, the culture and be able to your parents, the background of your parents, everything like that, how does that shape you knowing that you wanted to kind of like step into music? Did you just happen to you always knew that's the route you wanted to go, or you just be like, I accidentally kind of tripped into this and we kind of figured it out?
Um, have I? No, I actually, it's so crazy. Like when I was younger with my cousins, because my favorite cousins actually lived across the street from, like, you know what I mean? Imagine your most favorite cousins living across the street.
At their house
We
every
used to
day.
like we
Every day.
outside on the block every day, So, we actually had like a little rap group.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
all the rappers, they always be like, yeah, I've been writing since I was 9. But yeah, we had a little cute little rap group called Exclusive, but like I never
Mm-hmm.
thought that I would be a rapper. I wanted to be an actress. Actually, I went to school for musical theater. So when I found out that there was a whole scene of alternative underground like rappers in New York City that were like working to be stars, I was like, wow, this is cool. And that's how I kind of like swerved into that lane. And yeah, so that's kind of how like I got to that point.
Love it.
And now, at what point did your passion turn into your purpose?
Ooh. Um so at first, like, okay, so when I got into the world, at first it was like poetry, and then I was like, because I saw everybody else rapping, but I was like making beats, but I also was writing poetry, and I was like, nah, I feel like I want to rap, and then I like tapped back into that person because even when I was that little girl, I
Mhm.
named myself Rocky Snyda because my name is actually Raquella. A little lore for some of the people. My name is actually Raquella, and so everyone used to call me Rocky. And then the Snyder and so then. But yeah,
Mhm.
so I realized that it became my purpose. Like 2020 is when I released my first like single on all streaming platforms. That's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna take this seriously, and I'm so glad to see the journey from 2020 to 2025 in creating music. And I hope that my fans and my supporters, the cuties, I hope that they
Yes.
can see the evolution from
Mhm.
then to now within like the music I just dropped from the project, the difference. And some of them are actually like telling me like, "Oh my gosh, I'm watching
You.
the evolution,"
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool.
Okay.
And speaking of, since you said that, you're talking about that evolution, what do you feel has been your like biggest personal or creative shift in that in between time?
Ooh. Biggest personal and creative shift. I feel like figuring out because the last couple years, as you know, has been like such a roller coaster. Shout out to look at my sister and my bestie.
Oh,
Yes, that's a
Hello.
great
that's
comment. That's
support.
a great
Hello.
question. She rocked my head with that one. The shift. Can you repeat it one more time so I can answer it very eloquently?
Got you. So you started talking about how your fans and that are recognizing, wanting them to see the evolution and the growth of you from the start of 2020 to presently 2025 and beyond.
Mhm.
So kind of talk about more, what has been your biggest personal or creative shift in the in between time.
I feel like a lot of shifts have been happening in the last couple of years, honing in more into who I am and my sound, and but like making it a more polished look, sound, feel. So a lot of the past few years I've been very experimental,
Mhm.
and just trying everything. Just like, oh, I want to do pop, I want to do hip hop, I want to do this, that. And so I feel like right now, this transition, this shift feels like I'm finding that true voice within all the genres and all the feelings that I have and the experiences I've had in the last couple of years. The shift is me, like me facing myself and being like, all right, it's go time. We're here. Let's do this for real. Let's make this as the best that we could possibly make it. And I hope that that translates. I don't know if y'all have heard the project, but I hope that translates through the music with everyone who listens to it, like just watching that and listening to that.
I do
Yeah,
want to
absolutely.
just I'm sorry, Danielle. I just want to give her a compliment because I critique projects very, very to an extent. Danielle knows I talk about it every time. Like I'm listening to projects from the production, I'm listening from the lyrics, I'm listening for just the overall put together. This is so amazing. I can definitely hear the growth because I listened to projects you put out from over the years from 2020 and onto this very current EP. When I tell
Ah,
you this gave energy, it gave fun, it gave just brilliance from the writing to down to the very point of the production where it's just like you hear the pop, you hear the house sound, you hear it mixed with infused with the hip hop. Like this was just hands down an amazing project. Like I got to give it to you.
ah.
Yes. 10 out of
That's so crazy.
10.
I was
10 out of 10 would recommend. 10 out of 10.
Definitely 10 out of 10.
I was so hyped. Listen, y'all don't understand when I came to them and I was like, "Hey, I want to do 10 out of 10 would recommend as the
Hmm.
title." They were like, "That's actually pretty good." And I
Yeah.
think the whole thought process behind that is what y'all just basically y'all manifested just now, which was that I wanted to be in conversations with people, and I wanted them to be like, to let me know, like, is this a 10, or to tell their friends, it's a 10 out of 10. You should listen to this. Like, so the fact that that just happened,
Yes.
it was just like a
I love it.
cute
Like, who's in
little.
charge of the
I
girls?
think
In charge
let's
of
get to
kids.
the left of the.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, the producer was just here. She just left. Oh my god, that's who I was just looking at.
Oh, okay.
My producer, City Live. Yeah, she's so great.
Shout out to
But
the
yeah,
producer.
yeah.
And now going back to your project, being that you aren't one dimensional and there's so much going on, do you ever feel like sometimes you may feel like you have an identity crisis?
Ooh.
Like who
Hmm.
you what kind of
We was
music?
just talking about this. Maybe not an identity
Mm-hmm.
crisis, but more so like trying to figure out who am I gonna stay true to? Like which
Mm-hmm.
Rocky am I gonna like follow through with right now? Or who am I gonna show up as that
Yeah.
day? You know what I'm saying? Like you saw those 5 girls on the
Yeah.
project, like
Yes.
I could
Yes.
be any
Yes.
one of them. And I don't wanna give like I feel like they all are different, but they all are this like the same
Mm-hmm.
person. It's just different facets of myself, or what's the word, like alter egos of myself,
Mm-hmm.
even though they're the same person. Yes, shout out to Sibby. But yeah, I do be battling, and sometimes I'll be like, oh shit, I'll be today like this. Like earlier was giving we was giving so many things
Mm-hmm.
today because we shot content today, and now I'm like, hey y'all, you know, like cutesy and stuff like that. So yeah.
So what separates, sorry, Aisha, what
Oh, go
separates
ahead.
Rocky from Raquella?
What y'all coming with the questions today? I didn't even like I knew y'all had questions, trust me, but I didn't know y'all had these questions. Nah. I feel
Listen,
like
we don't play
Raquella's actually
Yeah,
over
pretty.
here.
We don't
no.
y'all not playing. Y'all did y'all
And I
research?
didn't want to, because before you said your name, I didn't want to put out your whole government because
Oh,
I
you
got it.
know my
But
last name? Don't
I,
do me. Nah, you can do my you can I actually don't care that people know my last name.
middle name
It's
included.
public
I didn't want to
information.
put it all out, but go ahead.
It's public information. Do you know my middle name? Because that would be actually pretty impressive.
Yes, you said it on your song. That's how I got it. Because you had your the intro.
Yep.
I think that was your
Oh,
mom.
my mom.
Yes,
I'm
Yep.
slow.
We
I
paying
really did.
attention to things over here.
yes.
Yeah. I'm crying. Okay, so what's the question? Tell me.
So what separates Rocky from Raquella?
Okay, I feel like Raquella is very like shy a little bit. Not super shy, but she's more
Mm-hmm.
reserved. I'm a Capricorn, so I like to keep it calm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that Raquel is that. Like she'll come to an event, or she'll be cute. Like she'll be like the little cute next door girl in the corner, whatever. Nice, sweet. They always talk about how I'm too nice. But I feel like Rocky is more expressive, more loud, more like super confident and super braggadocious in your face, like, and just like I feel like Rocky really, you can really see Rocky in the music.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm on stage, I feel like you really, that's Rocky Snyda, because I feel like I don't know who that person is. I go on and it's like, wait a minute,
Like
that's
that
the same
alter
girl, you know what I'm
ego.
saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
the alter ego. It's like but and I'm really like cutesy, fun, chilly, like laughy, like Raquel is like fun, chill, but Rocky's like, nah, we turn up, what we doing? Like,
Turn
you know what I'm
it
saying?
up.
Like, we here. Like, so I think that really, I wonder, do y'all feel like you can tell on some of the like, do you feel like Rocky's most of the records, or do you feel like there's a little bit of Raquel in there somewhere in the
I feel like we get
project?
a lot of
Oh, not me
Rocky.
interviewing you. Interviewing.
Yeah.
I feel like we get a lot of Rocky because
Mm.
it's a lot of energy. It's very like go be a bad bitch. Like it's very,
Confidence,
get you like hype you
raw,
up.
forward.
Yeah.
I feel like we
Yeah.
get a lot of that in from Rocky.
Yeah.
Just
Okay,
And then
so
I feel like
Rocky,
there
so
are some tracks where I can pinpoint where there's like, okay, this is you're coming from a different perspective. So I'm assuming now that's the Raquel side
mhm.
of that track where it's just more it's soft, it's laid back, and you speak and you just kind of giving that in the sense of that. So I think that for me personally, I feel like we do see a little bit more Rocky, but also there are certain tracks where we can
like for Raquel,
pinpoint
yeah.
you personally.
I literally like was going to say like She just said, I hear Raquel on Paralyzed, and I was thinking the exact same thing. Like the ones, like you said, where I'm a little bit more like maybe like softer, vulnerable, that's
Mm-hmm.
probably more like talking from me, my
Hmm.
perspective. Because like in real life, like you can ask anybody, I'm very humble. Like I won't be like, I'm not like, yeah, this is me. No. So, and then I feel like that's why Rocky is like on her shit. Cause she's like, no, we're not, this is what we're doing. Like we're
Yeah,
here. You're good. Like it's cool. Like it's okay. Like so yeah.
we're not
That's
crying
what
over niggas.
we're not
We
crying.
going out
Like
and
what are
we're
you
being
talking
bad
about?
bitches. Yeah.
What are you doing? Like stand up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of circle back because I know you talked about originally that you was studying theater. And I want to kind of go into that a little bit, how that helped prepare you, especially with your stage presence and the energy and that you have. Because like you said, you know, when you're just home and it's just you, it's just
So
Raquel is, I'm cool, I'm chill, I'm laid back, right?
yeah.
I'm there. But on stage, it's something about just Rocky being able to come out. So how does that help you kind of translate in a sense of to be able to be Rocky, just having that background?
I actually do think theater like if I what's the word? Give me a second. I feel like rappers should really take acting classes.
Mm,
That's what I want to say. Like any actor, singer, anybody who's like really great at or who wants to be great at performing should study that because like I always said that Drake is like one of the greatest actors because he's Drake. You know, he's able to go and be this person. Even though he's Aubrey, he's still able to go on
Mhm.
stage and become this person and do it. I do feel like theater has very much like put me in a different lane of like performing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to convey emotions or intentions a little bit differently. Like in school, they used to give us like these what you call it assignments, right, where
Mhm.
we would have to break down the song or that we were doing because I did musical theater, so I we would have to sing and act at the same time, so we would have to break down the songs and give each section an intention and a direction. So imagine applying that to music. You're gonna
mm,
get a credible performance. You're gonna get a Lady Gaga performance. You're gonna get a Doechii performance, Nicki Minaj. Like you're gonna get these type of performers because they actually have studied those things. You know,
yeah,
Azealia, like so many people. Like
man.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. Um, do you feel like you ever experience any like fear creatively? Like sometimes you may fear some like an idea is like too big or too far fetched for you to put into your
mm,
music.
mm. I feel like more so. I feel that way. Some like I used to feel that way with visuals
Mm,
because I people used to be like, we want more visuals, and I feel like I had ideas for visuals that at a certain level you can't, it's hard to
mm,
execute. Like some people might not even understand your vision. I remember working with a videographer that was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I can't even do what you're asking because I don't know. And you already know it's gonna be a big budget. We're talking Missy Elliott
mm,
style
mm.
thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So um yeah. I feel like that's where I would have like in terms of my creative process, like just like having issues or anything, like it's hard to like bring it to life. But
Yeah.
the more that I meet new people, the more I'm aligning with people who
Mm.
like they can meet me where I'm at. We can make something happen, you know?
Okay.
Right. Because you know you can, you know, you allow yourself to be able to, and you're saying you're manifesting and you're allowing to build that community. Listen, you don't know where it might just get you. You know, they gonna know somebody. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows
Yeah.
somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because and they see just the creativity and how hard you go. It's just so amazing. I want to talk about your fan base because you know you're known as Lil Tangerine.
The
You have your
cute.
fan base as the
Cuties.
cuties. Okay, I love that. You know, I want you to kind of talk about, you know, how the nickname started and what does your cuties really mean to you? Like like break that
Oh,
down for us.
Well, at first I we were trying to scramble figuring out what to call them, but then like there was like the rock stars, the Rockettes, and so many different names just playing off of Rocky. But then I was like, wait a minute, they do call me. I am known for wearing orange hair and like tapping into that. And I was like, those little cutie bag like
Mm-hmm.
oranges. I was like, oh my gosh, how cute would it be if they were cuties? Because honestly, too, I never really liked calling people my fans. I don't
Mhm.
know what it is, like the disconnect where I never really cared for that term. So I always used to call people my supporters, my family, like stuff like that. So when we came up with the name with cuties, I was like, this is perfect because it doesn't give super like you're my fan. It gives like, oh y'all cute, like kind of like
Yeah.
Megan, the hotties, like
Mhm.
if you want to be a cutie because you're like, oh, it's so cute and it's Rocky. So I
Yeah.
think that I'm glad that we create. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I think that was really cool moment when we came up with that.
I love it. I love
It,
it. You guys, we need to get to this music.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Is there somebody or something that challenged you the most to be creative?
Um, I think it's a most. I think it's my whole
Mm.
team. To be honest, like, from my creative director to my manager to my PR, I feel like I have a great team. I'll be like, because it's all like strong like signs,
Mm-hmm.
and personalities, but they all want the best for me in different ways, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're always challenging me, like whether it's like my creative director wants to challenge me like creatively, or my manager's like, oh, you need to get in the studio, let's like why don't you play with the bars and stuff like that, or it just even like my PR just laying on me with like things that I post and certain like that. Just like I feel like they're always like, I love my team. They just be challenging me,
I
so
love
I
it.
be stressed, but I do think I'll be a better artist for it.
Listen, they're
So
keeping you
Yes.
on your
keep me on
toes.
Shout
my
out to the
toes. I'm like,
team.
what's next?
And definitely shout out to your team. Girls, let's get into this music. First of all,
Yes,
Yes.
new music.
ten
You got
ten.
just recently released 10 out of 10 would recommend EP. Oh, I praised this EP for those who missed it. Praise this EP. Definitely kind of talk about what the 10 out of 10 would recommend means for you as an artist and as a storyteller.
Ooh. As an artist, I feel like 10 out of 10 felt like a more polished version of myself. I was able to sit with producers I cared about, writers and A&R, my A&R, and just like people that everyone that was in the room was people I trust.
Mm.
And there was like maybe like one or two new people, but I trusted them to let them in my process. And I never really like been in a process where I had to share my creative moment. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I came prepared because it was like you got 3 weeks, and so I came prepared with stuff. But because I came prepared, I was able to share that with the people that I was with,
Mm-hmm.
and able to allow them into my process. And that was actually it made for a better. It made 10 out of 10 what it is. I don't think it would have been what it is if I didn't allow these people into my space. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there a particular bar or lyric from this project that you wrote and you were like, damn, that I can't believe I wrote that, and it like gives you chills?
I'm trying to think. Ooh, wait. A bar. Hmm.
Probably so many.
I know I have favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
Um like when we first created the project, Winter's Remorse was actually one of the first songs that we finished, and we were like, "Oh, this is kind of like this is saying something, or it's complete." It felt like a good energy, but then we loved Massive. Massive was like
I
Massive.
like
that girl,
yes, I like Master, yes.
Massive was that girl. And then now Rocky verse actually has been my favorite right now because that second verse, quick lore for my cuties, that second verse was actually I went viral with that verse on a like a LL Cool J flip beat or whatever like 2 years ago, and everyone was like, "Where is that song?" but it wasn't a real song. It was just like, the part when I'm like, bitch, I'm the one and the two, okay, put a little pep in your two step, right? That verse right there, everyone was like, where is the song? So I said, we were like, wait a minute. Since everyone's looking for the song, let's put it on the project. Let's put it in this song, and it just made sense. So, if I had to think of a bar, maybe I would think of a
Okay.
verse. If that's, I would say that verse. That's why that's been my favorite since the project has released. I have new favorites
Okay.
every. Hmm.
So first of all, once again, just to reiterate, the project is definitely a vibe, full of fun, energy, emotions, and
For
of
the
course,
girls.
you have, it's for the girls, and you have your moments where it's just, you have your vulnerability points. How I don't want to say it was like difficult or anything like that, but what was your level or the point for you to be able to be vulnerable in certain aspects of this, to say, you know what, I just want to really, really, really put, what this deep thought, this deep feel here in this EP? Like, was that difficult for you, or did you feel like there was points? Because we hear sometimes from artists where it's just like it's hard to get to that point of being vulnerable and being able to say these things and put out my emotions, like when I just want to really just have fun.
Yeah, and this project, I feel like most of it was us saying, let's have fun. Let's get the people wanting to dance again. We need the
Hmm.
DJs playing this. We need you know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of it's high energy, but for the low energy, like the low calm
Yep.
moments, like, the sneakies, the threes, the paralyzed, the winner's
Yep.
remorse, even though it's still rap and it's still calm. I feel like paralyzed, we spoke a little bit about it earlier, was one of those moments where I was having a vulnerable moment because I wrote it in when I wrote it, I was in a vulnerable space. So sometimes when I hear it, I'm like, it always makes me feel like the project was complete because I had no thoughts originally of putting that in the project. But somehow we were like, we need a hill in a valley
Like
somewhere.
that
And
roller
that came
coaster type of.
yeah, we need to put them on a roller coaster. They've been at the top of the roller coaster for a couple songs now. So where can we like really show a moment with myself, like just giving them a little peek of who I am? And so when you put that in there, like I was like, okay, now this project feels like a project and not just like just not just club songs the whole
Mm-hmm.
time.
Right.
It felt
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah, it felt like okay, I'm having a personal moment now. And I feel like for artists like myself and other creatives who really actually enjoy making music and stuff like that, we always are like, how are we gonna conceptualize this? How are we gonna tell a story? How do
Right.
we like make this whole new thing? And it's like, no, we don't have to sometimes reinvent the wheel. We just need to show a little bit of
Mm.
ourselves in the process, and someone is gonna relate, you know?
Okay. Can you talk about your deal with Capitol Records?
So it was kind of random because, like I told you, I was like shortly in a group with
Mm-hmm.
of creatives, like a bunch of
Yeah.
creatives with me. We went viral for a song, and that's when we started hearing from labels and stuff like that. And then towards like the end of that year, um, I got do I tell the story? I got a little
Tell
DM. It
it,
was like, oh,
tell it. We love story
I thought
time,
I was
please.
I thought I was going. I thought I was going to see a show. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I'm gonna tell the story. I was going to see a show, and I got reached out by some A&Rs from from LLC4 Capital. I mean Priority Capital Records. And happens to be my manager today. But like it was two girlies. Shout out to Imani, and it was like we want to meet you, and I went to go see a Connie show and we linked up and we enjoyed the set. Ken, shout out to Ken the
Yes.
Man. And we talked and they asked me like what do I have going on, and I came in for a demo session. I made Superstar in the demo session.
Yes.
And from there, she always kind of like was like pretty much giving like challenging me, be like, yo, you should try this, do that. I'm trying to get you a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was just listening. I was like, okay, this person cares.
Right.
So I was just listening for like a bunch of months. And then finally they was like, hey, we want to do something with you. We want to give you a project situation, like basically a deal with the project. And
Okay.
then And then it happened. It was so cool because it was like I've been working in music for a minute, and so having that moment actually shout out to John. Having my friends come in and I signed the paper and making
Oh,
it a moment.
wow.
It was real cute. We had cake and popping
That is
champagne because I like to
beautiful.
celebrate
As
everything.
you
So I was just like,
should.
you know,
Yeah,
That's
as you should.
big.
yeah.
Real
So
big.
they was like, so we did that, and then I was supposed to do 8 songs. I came out with I recorded 20 songs,
Mhm.
and we put 13 songs on the project. So I think that we did pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
Now,
awesome.
wait, so
yeah.
sorry, Ish, I have a follow up.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
now with this, was it just it was a distribution deal just for this project?
Well, this project is. I feel like I'm in a intermediate situation. I am getting a lot of help, so it's.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like a one and done situation where it's like, oh, here we're distributing and bye.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to LLC4 and everybody over there at Priority and everybody. I feel like they've been very supportive, more than you would probably get from a distribution situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I'm supposed to say, but I do feel like it's a little bit more than
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? From what I got. We didn't talk about
Okay, no,
that shit.
you
Okay.
don't have to go. You don't have to go into
Yeah.
details
You
of
don't
what you
gotta
got.
go for that.
But y'all get the gist. It's
Yeah.
not
Okay, we
here,
get
it's
it.
here.
So
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
now the
saying? Like
support.
I'm getting
Sorry,
the
no, go ahead. Go
support
ahead.
is not
Go ahead.
yeah, the support is way more than just like here, just release your music.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cause which is
Because they're
great
more hands
too.
listen,
on with you. Okay.
and I think
Yeah, very
that's
hands on.
something that's very amazing because of the fact that, clearly you got a good group of people that
Mm-hmm.
see, and even for us just listening to the music and just, being able to view the visuals and just seeing the little bit in the forefront, like the star power you have,
Yeah.
like the just to be able to see, because obviously there's more, when we think about it. I think about, honestly, I'm be truthful, and this is just my opinion, not trying to put a relation. It kind of gives me like how Doshi started, in a sense of the progression, and then once she got with this team and the way they rolled and pushed and gave,
Hmm.
like, just how the energy was with her, the
Everything just went up.
design,
Yeah.
everything, it's just up, and that's honestly what you
It
give
feels
me.
like
Yes.
yeah, I love Doshi because I actually watched some of her journey up close when she lived in New York City. So it was actually really cool seeing her be who she is, find the right team, and out of here. And it was very inspiring. So definitely shout out to her. Great comparison. Great comparison. Love Doshi. But yeah, I definitely do feel like because I'm getting challenged
Hmm.
by my team, it's making me a better artist. And the situation is just a situation that's just gonna, it's a stepping stone to a bigger situation.
Of
As long as
course.
we keep consistent and like do the things that we need to do, I think it'll be
Yeah.
great
Of course
outcome.
it's good. You got people like Ebro playing your music during the Grammys and all sorts of stuff. You
Ah, what you
Spotify.
know about
Listen,
that? What do you know? That was crazy. That was so many moments. But I'm
you
glad
have
all of those
lots,
things
yes,
happened.
and lots more
All of
coming.
those, yes. We're
Yes.
manifesting big wins for this project. I feel like also I compare. Speaking on Doshi, one last
Yeah.
thing. I actually, when I was creating this project, I always tell people that she has a project. Oh, the places you'll go.
Mm-hmm.
That that was her manifestation project. That came out right before she still went viral and then she got signed. And if you listen to that project, she literally is telling you who she is, where she's about to go, what it's about to be. And I like every when I thought about creating this project, I was like, I need a manifestation project that's literally going when they take off, people are gonna be like, oh, she really was like, nah, I'm about to do this for real. So shout out once again, shout out to her.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I want to play a quick game real quick
Hmm.
called 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, so I'm just
Okay.
going to ask you some things and you can say, would you recommend or would you not recommend?
Okay.
Okay, being independent artist as opposed to having a record deal.
Wait. I plead the fifth. No, I think that I do recommend every artist try the industry thing at least once before they decide to be independent. There's pros and cons to both. So I 10 out of 10 would recommend trying
Oh,
both. See
right.
what it gives. You might like, you
All
know,
right.
One might work, one of the other might
Cool.
work. You never know.
independent with the right people. Yeah.
Yes.
That part.
Okay.
That's
Being
the
outside or
Mhm.
staying at home?
I'm a Capricorn. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Home, no. 10 out of 10 would recommend me and my cats. Yeah.
Being from Brooklyn.
Is that, oh yeah, 10 out of 10. Oh, I thought you was comparing it to something.
Uh,
10 out of 10 would recommend being from Brooklyn. We have so much culture, so much swagger, like so many great places to eat, so many great places to just look at, to be at, like so many cool culture. Like it's
They
just,
got
yeah, 10 out of 10.
Juve, everything
Nope.
be happening over in Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah, y'all gotta come. Y'all been to the parade? Duh.
I stay away. I stay away from the parade.
Why you say what? I be
Girl,
I
no.
did it one
Mm-mm.
it's
time and that was
stressful
like
No.
years
because
ago.
it's
Years
stressful.
ago.
It's too much. I'm sorry.
It's stressful. I don't know. I'll be excited. That's the one time that I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go outside real quick. That's
Mm-mm.
my sister right there. I'll be with
I
her.
Okay,
can't
okay.
do the
Listen,
parade.
I ain't gonna lie. I did it one time years ago, and
Mhm.
after that, I
But
think
you know what? It's because y'all from Queens, right? Y'all real cute. No,
In the
no,
house.
we're not doing too much. We're not doing cute. The Queens girls be like, no, we're not. That's rah 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 rah.
I mean, I know people from Queens that go to the parade and do
Yeah.
jubilee and all. But me personally, that's not my stilo.
What's your
Danielle
What's
will
both of y'all
recommend being
signs?
at home. That's Danielle's speed.
Wait, what's
I'm
your sign, Daniel?
an Aquarius.
Aquarius. What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, okay, Leo. My mom's a Leo. And I
Yes.
only know one Aquarius, and that's my best friend who's my creative director. I don't know any other Aquariuses.
Yeah.
That is literally, he's the only Aquarius, period,
Now
at
you know
the parade. We go in a
Danielle.
bunch.
Yeah. Some days I have my moments where I'm like, okay, I'm outside, turn it up. But then like after like an hour, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be in my bed.
Yeah,
What's that?
I'm
Bottom
ready to
of
go home.
kings.
that's what
Yes.
it is. Both. She's always asking about people's signs. Yeah, because I just be wanting to feel the vibes. I feel like I could do both. Yeah, let's go out for an hour
Yes.
or two, and then let's go home.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as I'm in bed by 11, that's
Hmm.
great.
Not Leo's rise. She said she's taking you out.
Yeah. Okay, we going out.
All
Everybody
right,
going
we going
out. Listen,
out.
we gotta pick a date. We
Yes.
pick a time. We going out.
Yes, a cute little moment
Danielle said her
outside.
bedtime's at
Yes.
11.
We can
That's good. We good.
make you make curfew. It's fine.
Yes.
We'll make
We make
yeah.
you get perfect. Cool. I love this. First of all, before we like wrap up, I just have a few more questions, and then like thank you so much for participating in our fire
Yes.
round there. I just love this. This is what it's about, guys. I love it. I want you to kind of talk about just in regards to just the changes and you starting into where you're at now, obviously where you're continuing. Is there a conversation you would have with yourself that would it be a little different in if there's anything that you say, far as whether the good, the bad, the ugly, just to say, maybe I should have done this route. What's that conversation to yourself? What
Mm,
that look like?
I don't regret anything in like in like my creative life at all. I don't think I regret anything. I think everything I've done leads to another moment, whether it was failing or succeeding or whatever. It's like you learn from those things. So
Hmm.
I don't think that I would change anything or go back and like I would like maybe like probably tell myself to pay attention. Like like what's the word? Have eyes everywhere. Pay
Mhm.
attention,
Have
be
discernment.
consistent. Discernment. Girl, discernment. Yes, better discernment because I feel like I'm very like like try to see the best in people or try to see like, so I feel like having discernment would be something I probably would tell myself like, pay attention, have
Hmm.
discernment, but also stay consistent and like any moment where I felt like any doubt of like, or took my time, get up. Because there was definitely times where I felt like I wasn't motivating my own self, and I was doing things like whenever I wanted to. So that those are the two things I probably I would not regret, but like I would like inform my former self.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, May 7th, you,
Oh,
504 Icy Girls.
five
You're
oh
going.
Yes.
four
You're
icy
on
girl.
her New York
Yes.
stop. Let's talk about that because
Yes.
I didn't want
Yeah.
to forget to mention that. Yeah, let's talk about that. How did that come about?
So literally, I was following her in Heaven. I don't know if you're familiar with Heaven too. Two New Orleans bounce artists. So great. I just was like loving that sound. I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So I started following them, and then we were like following each other and liking each other's stuff. And then she was like, "Oh, I'm stopping in New York," and I was like, "You stopping in New York? You gotta
What's
come
up?
see the princess."
What's up?
Come see the princess. So she was like, "Word, let's do it." So it really was just like a cute conversation, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously we had our people talk to each other and
Yeah.
make sure it was right situation, and then it was like, and it's just she has great energy too. Or she's killing her tour. So shout out to 504 Icy Girl, very supportive, very great artist. Like she could
Yes.
tell she's like hardworking. So I'm excited about that show because it's at
Yeah.
Pianos, y'all. May
Yes.
7th, okay, and Pianos, everybody knows where that is. LES, cute little spot. And I just feel like from watching her other tour stops, I just can tell that it's just gonna be like a family, like good vibe, bouncing, like everybody's shaking and just like we're gonna have a good vibe. And I can't wait to like I can't wait for y'all to see what I
Oh.
wear. And it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Listen, the team gotta come through. We
Yeah.
gotta come. Danielle, you
Yeah.
down? We gotta
Can
go. We
y'all
gotta
We
come.
outside.
come?
We
Like
outside.
Woo!
what?
We
Yeah.
outside.
So that's our
Yes,
outside
we outside.
moment.
That's our outside
That
moment.
could be.
Yeah,
That
That's
could
yeah,
our
be our
yeah,
outside
outside
yeah.
moment.
moment.
That's our
Yes.
outside moment.
That could be our outside moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I'll extend my curfew.
Uh,
her and the curfew.
I'm
Um,
trying.
Once again, just thank you so much for this interview and sit down. The last thing is that when we wrap up, we always like to engage and let a lot of independent artists pay attention to this platform and things like what words of encouragement would you give to other creatives or other artists who is really trying to find their way and or maybe like you said just trying to find that way to motivate themselves to get back going. What is those words?
Those words would be, I always, every time I get asked this question, I feel like I say the most cliche thing, but it really is. The more that you can be true to yourself, like the more that you can be the most authentic to yourself. Now granted, there's so many other things and variables as to why people have to adapt and change, right? But I think the more of you that you bring to the table, the better. The more you're gonna get more opportunities that make sense for you, the more success, the more thing. So for any up and coming artists, please, like whatever your lane is, stay in that lane and do it to the best of your abilities. Because people are gonna be like, damn, like they really ate that lane up. And I feel like that's what we were trying to do. When we made 10 out of 10, we
Yes.
recommend. So yeah, that's what I would tell them.
Okay.
Awesome. And then I just wanted to piggyback really quick. What is the most surprising thing that you actually learned about yourself as a creative? Because you don't work with so many different brands, you done ventured in so many different avenues. So kind of what's the most surprising piece about
Hmm.
you we should know?
Oh, something surprising y'all should know, like that people don't know. I'm double jointed in my fingers. I know my
How
manager about to be like,
did you
girl, that is
discover
not what
that?
they
Like, how
asked.
does one discover that?
um when I was a kid, but I'm not gonna show y'all. But what is I can think of something something surprising.
Or if
Um
it's something that surprised you as you've been going through your journey.
the more open I'm allowing myself to be.
Hmm.
I feel like a lot like a lot of my process have been closed. I used to
Mm.
record everything at home, like all the projects before that, like even the like bigger projects, I would record it at home and send it out. Like I would never like be with people. Like I had people around me, but not all the time. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was creating, that was my time. So I'm learning. I'm surprised at how open and I am to having more people in my creative process. It's really weird, but I think it's making me like better a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, or like just giving me different perspective. I'm still doing the stuff that I do, but it's just like with different perspective, which I think everyone can do better with gaining different perspectives.
Okay. So like you're receptive to the feedback that you've been getting,
Yes,
like when
I
you're.
hate feedback.
I mean,
Like
it's not
I was
necessarily a
like,
bad thing.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like I like like critiques, like if somebody's like, "Oh, that's great. Can you try it this way?"
Mm.
Like that.
The
But when
constructive
people are like, "I just don't like
criticism,
that."
things like that.
When
Yeah.
But it's like, why
people
don't
are
you
like,
like it?
just
Why? What about it? Don't you like?
or you know what's worse, when stuff is done.
Ah,
Like you're done. You finish the
Mm.
song, it's over, and you bring it to somebody and they're like,
it's
Well,
like, bitch, I put my
it's
heart and soul in this. What do you
like I
mean?
like it because when I get to that point, I've already let it go. I've already loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is to the world. Like no one can tell me anything about the project, and I'll be like, because I already loved it. So if you don't like something,
That's on you.
yeah,
oh
it's
well, oh well.
oh well.
That's between
But
you and the Lord Jesus Christ, because I can't help you at this point.
I'm not calling you out because you actually do, like, in terms of like when we're in the studio, like, because she was there, you gave actual specific suggestions and directions. So like you'll be like, can you try it like that? Can we add a sound? Can we,
Like while
like,
Mm-hmm.
you
in
A and
the
R?
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you A and R'd. Now, have you have I showed you anything where you were like, ew? No, you more so be like, I feel like you should do this different.
yeah.
Not my sister laughing. Yeah, I'm crying. But yeah, so like I prefer like constructive criticism.
Criticism over
Yeah,
just feedback.
that's just
Okay.
feedback. Just feedback. I'll be like, I don't know what to tell you. It's the song is done.
It's done.
Take it
I'm
up to
not. I
God.
have
It's a
nothing
wrap.
more to give.
She gave
It's a wrap.
all that she got.
I
Okay,
gave
you're
all that you
going to
got.
receive it.
I'm
That's
in
it.
another
Okay,
place
because at the end of the
The day
day,
because at
the
the
is
day
gonna
must end.
end.
end of
The
the
day's gonna end.
day.
It
Wait, where's
must
she
end.
doing this, Daniel? At the end of the
And then the
day,
day, the day's gonna
The
end.
the
day is
day's
gonna end.
It's
gonna
already.
end.
I love it. Listen,
This is so
thank you
fun.
so
Yes.
much for just blessing us with your presence and be able to just give us your energy and just be able to talk about this new wonderful
Yes.
project. And guys, if
10 out of
you
10 would
have not
recommend.
Woo!
gotten this project, please, I say this I've been saying this since we started Indie Talks. Don't just stream the music. Please
Fire.
purchase the music. It
Ooh.
takes so much to be an independent artist. Listen, I run it up all the time. Listen, I purchased 10 out of 10 would recommend. Please make sure you
Yeah,
run it up, okay? Because it takes a lot to really be an artist and a creative in this industry. Please,
Yeah.
please,
it
please.
does.
Guys, if you are not following us, please make sure you stay with us. Follow us at GSRS right here. Just push the follow button.
Yep. It's easy. Right there.
Yes.
Right there.
May
May
7th,
7th. Ah! We
piano.
here. We here.
We out
Yeah.
the
Make sure
pianos, y'all. I want y'all to come with your most fly, the coochie cutters. Come
the cookie
cutesy,
cutters.
fashion forward. Like I want anything. I want vibes. I want. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna turn up. We'll do shots. Like I feel like it's gonna be a real cute event.
I
Y'all
gotta
better come.
get a color wig.
We
Maybe
gonna
I gotta get one.
come.
Yeah,
No, we
yeah.
gonna come. We gonna
Ooh.
come. We gonna come.
Okay,
We
I
gonna
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you
Yay.
so much
Thank
once
you.
again for sitting with us. Thank you, guys. Please, once again, please, please, please. If you're not on, please be on right now. You better be on at this point. So you know you got no
Yes.
choice. Okay, this is a star, superstar right here. Okay.
Yes.
And
All right. Well,
thank
thank
y'all
you
so
so
much.
much,
No,
Thank
thank
and you
y'all.
have a good
you.
rest of your
I
evening.
will.
Bye.
Going to eat.
Yes.
Woo!
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Of
Thank you.
Bye.
course. Have a good evening.
Okay. This wasn't
All
that
right.
bad.
No,
I think
not
because I haven't pushed back a little.
okay.
I haven't pushed back.
I
But
love it. It was so
yes, I love her
amazing.
energy. I love everything about her. Love her.
I can't wait. I'm gonna connect back with her
May
team
7th.
for May 7th.
We outside.
I shout out to her team for we just, we literally had got the email. I listened to the project and I just fell in love. And it was I just knew I had to try to see if we can just really get her. And I'm very blessed that we was able to attain
Yes.
and really just have this conversation. This was just so amazing. So so guys, thank you so much for just tuning in. You already know, if you came in at last minute and you missed it, listen, go follow our YouTube
Mm-hmm.
channel. It'll be there.
You go back playback.
Get the playback. All
Yeah.
right. So once again, thank you so much, guys, for supporting us throughout these years and things like that. And Danielle, I
Love
love you, girl.
you too, boo.
All right, guys. I am your host, Aisha Lewis Redway, and of course, my beautiful co-host,
Danielle Meeks.
where it's nothing
Real
but real music,
music, real
real
style,
style,
and real
and real
people.
people, and it don't get no realer than this. So until next time,
Peace.
peace.